Hello and welcome to a look at Arcade Pool for the Amiga, a game that was released by Team 17. This game is one of those clever versions where it will detect what chipset you are using, and if it detects AGA chipset, it will give you sharper and crispier looking graphics and more sounds, which is always a nice little touch. Arcade Pool is hardly surprising a pool game, and as such it has various different options for how you want to play pool. You can also define some custom options, but most of those settings are only for custom games that you can define yourself. The predefined game types are UK 8-ball, US 8-ball, US 9-ball, US F8/15 ball, and of course, as I was alluding to, a custom pool where you can tamper a bit with how the rules work. Besides that, you have a survival mode where the two players have 3 lives, and you lose a life if you make a mistake, and you either lose the game by running out of lives first or the other player pocketing the 9 ball. Besides that, you have a trick shot option, which is a game mode where you can place the balls in whatever configuration you want and try to make some very spiffy shots. It is, I suppose, a sort of practice mode, so you can work out how you can hit the balls in very odd positions. But for a showcase thing, it is a bit gimmicky unless you have someone you can impress by your fancy trick shots. When it comes to direct single-player modes, you have 2 modes available. Speed pool, which is a 9-ball pool where you have to pocket the balls as quickly as possible. The order is completely irrelevant, it's just about clearing the pool table of balls. And then you have a 9-ball challenge where you will have a number of lives available, and if you hit a ball without pocketing any balls, you'll lose a life. But if you start pocketing multiple balls, you'll get bonus lives, and if you pocket a ball in the pocket that is indicated, you'll get bonus lives, and so on and so on. Depending on if you screw up, how you screw up, you will be penalized with 2 or more lives lost, and you basically play until you run out of lives. For me personally, that is the more exciting game mode and what I play this game for. You can play it against the computer or up to 7 other players, which is a nice number of players available. If you play against the computer, it can be a bit of an interesting experience. Unless, of course, you are a skilled pool player, computer or otherwise. You can tell the computer is screwing up intentionally. Because at one point or another, the computer player will get sick of you and just start pocketing the balls at even incredibly bizarre angles and positions. And it feels a bit cheesy knowing that the computer can calculate every single angle, every single power needed, and how much spin is required, top spin, side spin, and all that kind of stuff. The option to play up to 8 players, which is something I would love to have available to try, is best done in a tournament setting where the players will play against each other until a winner has been decided, declared, defined, whatever you might decide to call it. Having the option available is a very, very nice touch, and I could easily imagine that it could be rather exciting to play 8 players on this game. Graphically, the game looks incredibly nice and crisp and clean. Obviously, you can only do so much out of a pool table graphics before it starts looking silly or stupid. But by and large, I think the graphics are, I wouldn't say exceptional, but for what they need to be, very, very good. The balls can tend to look a bit more like buttons than actual balls, but once they start moving, the illusion is adequate. I wouldn't necessarily mark it against the game, but it's definitely something that is noticeable. The music is very laid back and relaxed, and it is most likely quite intentional for you to get into a mood of just kicking back and having a good time. It's not exactly going to get your adrenaline pumping, but it's not intended to either, and as such, I think it works perfectly fine. You may not be a fan of the musical theme, but the musical quality is definitely undeniable. The same goes for the sound effects. You can only do so much with the sound effects before they start sounding not particularly pool-like and completely out of place. And the sound effects delivered are, I would assume, pool accurate. The sound effect when you hit the ball, when you pocket the ball, and of course, when you do some incredibly spiffy, skill shots, the audience will cheer and applaud, which is a nice little touch. The game's controls allows you to define the angle, the power, and topspin and side spin and all that kind of good stuff. That if you decide to put the time required into learning how to set up the most amazing looking shots, it is entirely possible with the control scheme system thing. So, no complaints there. Part of the enjoyment of playing pool, of course, is to play with some mates in your local pub, bar, or pool hall, or wherever else you might play pool. The setting and party, depending, enjoying some soft or maybe not so soft drinks, having a laugh, showing some name calling, creative or otherwise, and just have a good time. I can't say how accurate this is compared to real life pool, but remember the game is called arcade pool, not pool simulator, so any deviations are entirely allowed and acceptable because it is not intended to be a pool game at a simulation hyperrealism level. But it does allow you to reproduce the pool hall pub setting by allowing you to play up to 8 players, just like in the good old days when you had multiple players sitting around one computer, one game, and one controller, taking turns and just having one heck of a good time. As pool games goes, this is definitely not a bad one. On that note, thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time. Bye bye for now.